week that good old-fashioned nuclear war might kick off. It's all thanks to this lot. Picking a fight in the Middle East. I've been having a look, and you know when we get the 4-minute warning coming in, and we share it with you, I've had a look at the songs that are all 4 minutes long. We are going to be going out, if we get the warning during this live show, dear listener, we are going to be going out on Shania Twain, That Don't Impress Me Much.
I like it.
It says it all, and it's just the right length to get us through those 4 minutes where we worry, what are we going to do? Oh, wait, we can't do anything at all. More importantly, not only is it the prelude to World War III, more importantly, it is St. David's Day today, which is traditionally celebrated with rounds of What's New Pussycat echoing the valleys. I'm fairly sure that's how they celebrate it, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
I think that's how they do it. If we'd been smart and planned ahead, I would have been wearing a dragon costume right now. I know this is radio and you can't see it, but if we planned ahead, I would have made that happen. Unfortunately, we kind of forgot St. David's Day was coming up. It just sort of creeps up on you, doesn't it?
What you could have also done is learned how to say Happy St. David's Day in Welsh.
Happy St. David's Day?
No.
It's something like that, isn't it? A terrible Welsh accent. You take a swing and you miss by a mile. That's how you do it, isn't it? Although, if we're sticking on the dragon costume thing, St. George's Day is just around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure we could organise something for then. It's Yaki Da to say hello in Welsh or something like that, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure because there's a lot of things about Welsh language that you hear that just end up being complete nonsense, like that whole thing about, what's the Welsh word for microwave? And so they go, poppity ping. No, did you say microwave? A word in traditional... I was about to say Celtic languages, but I don't know if Welsh is a Celtic language or not. But, it's a bit like Gaelic and things like that. There are things they're going to borrow from English because, quite frankly, in the olden days, they just didn't exist as a thing, did they? So maybe we'll figure this Welsh thing out as we go along. However, if you were here last week, we were asking about what in life is just tempting fate. And that was off the back of realising that when you have a packet of biscuits, right? The little tab that you rip open to get into the packet of biscuits is like 10 biscuits down. And at that point, you've got 10 biscuits that you just have to eat or they're going to go soggy. And, it's just tempting fate. It's not possible to just eat one single biscuit out of that packet. So we were asking you about what else in life is tempting fate, and a few have delivered.
We've got Claire. She says, I am weird about the car and won't say anything bad about it whilst we're on a journey, just in case the car hears us. I always say to hubby, shh, don't jinx us.
Now, you see, you probably don't want to travel with me because if you talk about car journeys, the number of car journeys I've been on where the car has just stopped working at some point in the journey and we're having to spend a lot of time at the side road. It got to the point when we were rather young where the AA was referred to as my dad's friend. It was just such a regular occurrence because we generally bought at the bottom end of the market. And it's a habit I got into until Jenny went, no, we're not going to keep buying bangers. Bangernomics makes sense, but no, we're not going to do it. We're going to go up the chain a bit if we can.
Yeah.
And that's sort of broke that habit for us, but there you go. Also talking about tempting feet is Anne saying when you think it's going to be a dry, sunny day and you don't bring a coat and it ends up raining. That is just frustrating. And the funny thing is, the moment you realise you haven't got a coat isn't necessarily the moment it starts raining, is it?
No.
It's the moment you realise you're as far away as possible from shelter, and any second now, if it does start raining, you're in trouble. It's always that moment. It's like, oh, I can't fix this problem. I'm going to have to live with it. It turns out Lecky Da apparently means good health. So I'm assuming Yaki is to do with day and Lecky would be to do with health and Da means good. Just a guess. I'm guessing that's how it works. And Alfie also in touch saying saw sashes in a pub. You can never get them open. Jenny now has a tiny pair of scissors in her handbag to help with it.
What were those Smith's crisps were they? Where you used to get your little blue packet of salt.
They were. And I know what you're on about with the sauce sachets. Because if you just take to ripping them or tearing them, sauce is going everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can get away with it when it's ketchup because people don't assume.
I thought you said salt.
Sauce.
So
people don't assume that when there's red sauce everywhere that it's blood.
Yeah.
But if you get, mayonnaise everywhere,
Yeah.
interesting questions start to be asked.
Yeah, I do. No, I'm just thinking I tend to struggle with everything like that. And the little jams as well that you get and you're supposed to tear. And the milks that you used to get as well.
Yes.
They're really hard to try and I always look around me because I always think people are looking at me struggling to tear open a sachet, like silently laughing at me because I can't do it.
Well, everyone's got to have a hobby. And the other thing about this being the 1st of March is apparently it's officially the start of spring, according to some weird, wonderful measurement. I don't know how they decide these things. I think it's the meteorological version where they're very strict about this day shall forever be known as the start of spring. I think that's maybe how they've done it. Maybe how they go about it. But the downside of spring coming is that the plants also burst into life. And you're thinking, what's the problem with that? I like to see a bit of colour. I like to see a bit of variety when I'm out. The problem is the plants have a habit of spaffing a lot of material around, better known as pollen, and especially the really big plants known as trees, which have already started kicking in already. You start to get that tickly feeling in the back of the throat and up the nose and up the eyes. As you know, spring is coming, and it's going to be weeks of lots of fun, consuming hay fever pills that, quite frankly, if you get non-drowsy ones, they're useless till you get a dose that makes you drowsy anyway. And the drowsy ones don't actually do anything but take the slight edge off it, I've found.
I'm lucky I've never suffered with hay fever.
It's not fun. It is a pain in the... So it got me wondering. Maybe you don't suffer from hay fever, but there is bound to be a simple, mundane thing that gets your goat. The other one that gets me is how the world is built for little people. So when I was suffering from really bad back pain and couldn't bend over and things like that, it's only then that you realise work surfaces are so low. You go to use the hand dryer, it's so low. You go to badge in through a door, something like that. It's almost down on the floor. The world is not built for tall people, but the world is built for little people.
Like me.
And that got my goat as well. So I want to hear about what gets your goat. The best way to tell us, give us a call, text, or WhatsApp. The number is 07367 85 85 47. We are talking about those simple, mundane things in life that just really get your goat. And Beach Vert One Cat's be in touch saying airport departure gates. When you have a long walk and then 3 sets of stairs, and when you do get to board, then you're put on a bus to be driven what feels like the other side of the airport to get a plane, and then it taxis for 15 minutes back the way you came, and it misses the flight, so it's late. That's annoying. I'm almost imagining like a scene out of a sitcom where you get out of the house, you rush to the airport at stupid o'clock in the morning, you get through security, you run across the terminal, you get on the plane, it taxis all the way along for like hours and hours and hours to get to the other side of the airfield. And then just before it's about to take off, your family wave at you out the window as the plane just is passing by the front door of your house. It almost feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? It's like, why is it taking us so long to go nowhere? We are still touching on all things Welsh. I've just seen a lovely little picture come through on WhatsApp from Paul. Apologies, I didn't see it earlier, but it's a picture of his cat wearing a dragon flag. So does that mean if I've got to also get a dragon flag as well as the dragon costume?
Yes.
This is all going to get very expensive now, isn't it? A little bit worried now. How much is it going to cost me? I'm going to get into real trouble here. If you regularly get a wee natter injected into your eyeballs or your lug holes, you will know that we are experts in the culinary arts. Yeah. No, we know nothing at all. However, we just had a question come in to Jenny, of all people, asking about how you cook Aunt Bessie's Yorkshire puddings, which is as simple as you take out of tub, put in oven, enjoy in moments later. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
There's a bit of saga to it, because I always own up when I do something wrong. I always own up to it.
As you should.
And basically, these aren't Bessie's ones. They're the ones that you cook. They're the mixtures in the little tin foil trays, and then you stick them in the oven and you cook them for however long it is. And normally they come out all right. But for some reason, the issue I've had in the past is I've left them out ready to go into the oven and then forgot I'd left them out, and then all the mixture defrosts, and I think, oh God. So for some reason, I've put them back in the freezer, so all the mixture is stuck to the bottom of the tin foil because they stack them. I think they're like 12 in a box, and they stack them
if they're frozen,
stacks of freeze. So all the mixture from the previous one is spilled and frozen solid onto the bottom of the tin foil of the Yorkshire pudding that's on top. So obviously then I think, well, I'm not wasting them, so I'll try and get the knife out and prise them out so I can cook them. So they only come out like half a Yorkshire pudding. But Stephen was just saying, how did it go when I've tried cooking? And so of course I explained all my saga, and he didn't realise that you have to take them out, that you leave them in the foil. So he took them out of the foil and then didn't realise that you had to cook them for 30 minutes. So his was just I don't quite know what they were like, to be honest with you, just like a little bit of a blob.
Just little pucks at the end of it, yeah. I'm sure it's still very edible. I'm moving off of food for a moment. Just seen a message coming in saying March the 5th even, is St. Piran's Day.
St. Piran's?
Does that mean that we need to invest in some piranhas? We need to get a tank of piranhas flying behind us before St. Piran's Day. And March 17th is St. Patrick's Day, so we just dye everything green and get drunk.
Yeah.
And pretend that we're leprechauns. That's how you do it, isn't it?
Yes.
And apparently, we're talking about patron saints. St. Patrick is actually Welsh.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of these things where you associate them with a country. It doesn't necessarily mean they came from that country, if I remember correctly, when it comes to the patron saints. It's all very confusing. So something that's less confusing is food. And we will go straight back to food because Jenny has... I don't know how to put this. We do a thing regularly on the show where we, in the run-up to Christmas, look for the very best of X to go on your Christmas table. Jenny has pitched that we do a version for Easter in chocolate. Thank you very much, Sandra, for sending us a pack, because we are going to be digging into it now as Jenny kicks off the inaugural Best of Easter hunt thing. I haven't come up with a good name for it yet.
No.
We need to come up with a good name for it. But the important bit is we are on the hunt to find the very best chocolate to go on your Easter garden.
Yeah, when you do the hunt, the Easter egg thing, put them in your baskets, that sort of thing.
That's what we're running with then, is
Yeah.
it? That's what we're going. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And we kick it off with an actual Easter egg. Terry's chocolate orange.
Oh, sorry, I've opened the wrong one.
Minis exploding candy. It's. I'm guessing it's just a chocolate orange that happens to be
Mark,
with little exploding.
I've just opened the wrong egg. Sorry.
That doesn't matter. We'll keep carrying on with the correct one. Now I've told you what the correct one is. We will go with the correct one. Yes.
Is it got anything in it? Or is it a chocolate?
It is simply chocolate orange with exploding candy, which I assume means when you bite into it, it's like having a grenade in your mouth and the chocolate just goes boosh everywhere. Anyone that's within about a 10 metre radius is getting covered in something.
Well, I love chocolate orange anyway. It's my fave. I ain't getting the exploding candy bit, though. I'm just getting the chocolate orange. Are you sure there's nothing else in there that's supposed to be the explosion part?
Not that I can see, so... How are you going to rate that one? It's the only one on the list. So your choices are top of the list and bottom of the list. Where would you like to put it?
At the minute, it's got to come first because it's got a bit of orange in.
It's as simple as that.
I'm sure I'm scouring it now.
No.
There's definitely nothing else in there to make it pop.
There's nothing else in there. It is simply a chocolate orange. It's supposed to have exploding candy as part of it.
It doesn't.
I'm reading details now. An orange milk chocolate egg with exploding candy minis inside.
Oh.
Did you not look properly, did you? You just went straight in and just, wow.
So,
it doesn't taste of chocolate.
So this is the egg. Unfortunately, I've got a bit carried away with the egg. Do you want to show everybody the egg? I couldn't wait to open it, so I think I've had an accident with the egg.
The egg has been destroyed. You found one of the minis. You have to tell us if it... But in fact, I better take duck and cover because it's probably going to explode out. It's a new weapon for World War III, which is kicking off next week, everyone. Just so you're prepared.
That is nice, yeah.
That is nice. So is it going top and bottom or bottom and top?
Top and top.
Top and top. It's not going to... It's got to be both because it's the first one on the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll get another one in as well. We'll do a couple in this round just to make sure that we've got something to compare on. And this one is a Marks and Sparks Swiss Chocolatier Mountain Bar Eggs.
Yes, unfortunately, I've already opened that one. So
all right, that was the one that you got a bit too eager with. Let's have a look at that and see what you think of that one.
It's got a nice creamy filling.
It's got okay, fair enough. You're off the start there.
Do you know what?
What?
Got crunchy bits in it. But I am going to put it second because I actually love chocolate that's got orange in it. But this is really nice. Would you like to try the rest of it?
Oh, I'll have to see in a minute. Because there is one last one that we're going to do now.
I've got a problem with that.
Well, I'll have to tell the fine folks what it is first. It is the Ferrero Rocher Golden Egg Creamy Hazelnut Experience. And what's the problem with that? Because you like cream, you like hazelnut, and you like chocolate. What's the problem?
I don't like Ferrero Rocher. Can you believe that?
So how are we supposed to taste this one then?
That's you, I think.
So I have to
You need
taste
to have a little bit of that.
Well, I'll tell you what if it tastes of Ferrero Rocher or not. Would that be a good start? Yeah, so you're going to have to fill while I taste then.
I think that the Terrace Chocolate Orange is definitely one of the top raters, but the rest of the gift that Sandra sent, yes, I keep wanting to say Sonia, a lot of the chocolate is from Marks and Spencer's. So I'm really kind of over the moon with that because I can't afford Marks and Spencer's prices. So when I opened the box, it was like a lot of it was like M&S. I'm like, oh my word, it's just amazing.
So the little conundrum we've got here is that it does taste of little Ferrero Rochers in a sort of egg shape.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind a Ferrero Rocher.
Try the last bit of that one.
I'll try the others in a minute.
Yeah.
But
what are you doing?
the conundrum we've got to figure out is, do we rate this poorly because Jenny doesn't like Ferrero Rocher, or do we rate it further up based on what I think compared to the others? But the problem is, Jenny's the one that's going to be rating everything else. So we're going to have to...
Oh, hey, but you've not tried any of the others yet.
No, not yet. So we're going to have a wee think about that. We'd love to see your messages coming in, including from Sarah Lansing. First time here, as usually, out on Sunday evenings. Will we get to see Sooty? If you're not familiar with who Sooty is...
She has been in a minute ago.
Sooty is our pussycat, very famous on the internet. She makes an appearance when she chooses to. We are not in charge of our lives. We are merely followers on that one. And on the chocolate and the eggs. Yes. A few comments have come in, including from Sandra saying, I saw last week Aldi's had a pack of 5 luxury Easter eggs, including a lemon one.
Wow.
I think it was £15. £15?
We'll skip that one then. Lemon, though. I mean, God, I love anything citrusy, lemon or orange.
Yeah. Just seen a message from Alfie saying, was looking at the calendar and realised February and March both started on a Sunday, so their dates match up the days. They do. There's this wonderful little trick, whereas so long as February is a normal February with 28 days, it's exactly 4 weeks long, which means whatever date it, like the 1st of February is on a Monday, it's going to be the 1st of March is on a Monday. It matches up, unless it's leap year, and then it all goes to whack. But normally it matches day for day. So when you learn that, you go, that's clever. Oh, wait, that means we get 2 Friday the 13th in a row, doesn't it?
Yes,
it does.
Oh, and I'm at dentist this Friday the 13th, just to check up.
You like to live dangerously. And I mean, you're eating chocolate on telly, radio, web stream, whatever you want to call this format and this thing. And the Ferrero Rocher thing, it's a tale of two halves. Saying one comment here saying, oh, I love Ferrero Rocher. On the other hand, going, I agree with Jenny about Ferrero Rocher. Yeah. I think it's horrid.
It's not much chocolate I don't like, but unfortunately that's one of them.
It is the Marmite of chocolate. So I have done the taste test on the Ferrero Rocher and all the others, and quite honestly, I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to put it in that number 2 position. So as it stands, The Mountain Bars from M&S are in third place. You've got the Ferrero Rocher Golden Egg second, and top billing is Terry's Chocolate Orange
It's all
with
gone.
a mini exploding
Show me the
candy.
empty box.
Well,
It's not me. I haven't eaten it all.
she hasn't actually eaten it all yet, but the box is empty. It's not far off the egg being completely gone as well. So what will happen with our hunt for the very best Easter chocolate? Well, the only way to find out is to keep joining us for a wee natter even.
Yeah.
And help me to speak English. It's a dream I've not told many people about, but one of the things I want to happen in life is to become a meme. And I think I've found out what the meme I'm going to become is, based on the comments flying around, coming into us. It's better with gravy.
It's better with gravy.
So I guess I'm going to have to be posing with a gravy boat ready, as if I'm enticing you to add it to everything.
Yes.
It's better with gravy. And that, maybe that's how we make Ferrero Rocher edible for Jenny. We just smother it in gravy.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. It's one of these things that could happen. You're not even going to try it.
No.
Even if I organise some gravy and Ferrero Rocher, you're not going to try it.
What about onion gravy?
It could be whatever gravy you like.
I might give it a go.
Not the American gravy, though. When they do biscuits and gravy and it's this weird white stuff. But like proper brown, made of meat gravy. That's what we'll be doing with you. And talking about weird and wonderful things, I encountered a woman selling services the other day. not those kind of services. It was will writing services, right? The only problem was she was very upfront about it. I was walking through the shopping centre and she was just hounding everyone, although managed to say just the right line of going, "You look like you're on death's door. Come get a will done before it's too late."
Wow.
She wasn't far off that. She was looking at you going, you'll never know when you're going to die. You need a will. No, I think it would have been more impressive if she teamed up with Psychic. So Psychic would be next to her and go, "Oh, I'm looking into your future. It turns out you've not got much of one." And then she jumps in and goes, "Before you disappear, you might want to get a will sorted out." Or would that be creepy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would useful to creepy? It could be either. I don't know which side of the creepy line it is. If it's the right side, I think I've got a new business idea. I'm going to go ring Dragon's Den now. Get my slot booked in about how we have a psychic that tells you you're going to die. And then we flog them wills on the other side. It is genius. It's going to be how we make millions. It's brilliant. I'll go make it happen now. Earlier we touched on the topic of somebody who was in a shopping centre being very aggressive in selling wills. And a couple of you have been in touch on that topic, including Alpha Cat, saying 2 years ago my sister passed away. Sorry to hear it. Although she had a will, but while she was in hospital we couldn't make decisions for her as she was incapable of making them herself. So we got ourselves power of attorney to decide medical and financial decisions for each other, and our family is listed as well to decide for us. Yeah. Financial power of attorney, whatever the financial term is. I will stress now, this is not financial advice, but that's the one nobody thinks about, and that's the hardest one to unpick when you actually get into the situation. If you've not thought about that one, start to think about it and get it sorted. It's not a topic you want to think about, but a serious financial decision, you might want to start thinking about those. Who's allowed to make medical and financial decisions when you can't? And Sandra Owens also touched saying, "I've done a funeral plan as I didn't want my relatives to have the worry of it, but with funeral costs going up all the time, it's actually a good investment." I wonder if it's going to be a bit like Enron or something like that, right? Where you invest in a funeral plan now, you stick around for the next 30, 50 years, something like that. The company that organised the original funeral plan runs out of cash, collapses, you're out of pocket. What are you going to do now?
Yeah,
I'm assuming they've got insurance and things to cover that. But that's the sort of thing that would happen if I was that level of organised. Honestly, the conversations this show starts sometimes, it properly breaks me. I've just seen a message from Alfie saying, "Cost of funerals are crazy, so me and the wife are going to the creme, not together, hopefully." Yeah, I don't think you do get a 2-for-1 discount at the crematorium. It'd be a bit of a weird one if they said, oh, we've got weekend sale. Come on down now to the crematorium.
Buy one, get one free.
I say buy one, get one free. No, I don't think that's what they do. Jen Flynn saying, Mark, ELO want their music at my funeral, please.
You see what I mean? I have a little bit of ELO on every week on the show now because I really do love a bit of ELO.
Well, if we're talking about crematorium, Sandra says, I will have David Bowie Ashes to Ashes at mine. As one or two of you may have pointed out, it would be a rather ironic choice to play as a song at your funeral, Bee Gees and Staying Alive, because, as a few of us remember, it is the song you're taught to remember the pace to go at when you're doing CPR. And the only other thing I remember from the CPR training is if you're not cracking ribs, you're not doing it properly.
You're not doing it proper.
You know, it's the only time you're allowed to actually get violent with someone and claim, no, I'm saving your life. Give me alive. Well, keeping the blood pumping, and hopefully somebody might sort you out afterwards. You know, we got to look at it in the positive. Yeah. And Sanlan saying, in the moment of the funeral, for a joke, I'd get a friend to start playing knocking on wood sounds as a coffin goes out.
Yeah.
He's like, let me out. That is a brilliant genius idea. And I also got the suggestion of Alive and Kicking by Simple Minds as a song to be playing when you say goodbye. Getting away from the crematorium, I was a sexton gravedigger at one time in Ashray. Officiating at burials, I could tell you a story or two. And weirdly, having been involved with parish council and all the things to do with not necessarily the crematorium, but the looking after the cemetery, there's a story or two I could share with you as well. And it turns out grave digging is a surprisingly hard thing to do. And when you've got incompetent grave diggers, it's really obvious. Because they have to leave a little bit more space on a little bit more on top. They leave it as a hump because it settles. It's not something you think about, but everything settles over time. Some of the grave diggers we've seen doing the job haven't been particularly brilliant, and you would have needed crampons and ropes and things like that to go over the humps that they left. They left them a little too prominent, or the other way around, nowhere near enough, and you would trip over it because they'd leave a crater.
Cute.
There's problems with that. And then another one, which has nothing to do with the grave diggers, but there was a gentleman who, until relatively recently, decided the best place to walk his dogs in the morning was to turn up at the... I've forgotten the name of the word now.
Graveyard cemetery.
Cemetery, that's it. So he thought, right, okay, the best plan for walking dogs in the morning is to turn up at the cemetery, right? And then you open the gate, you let your dog loose, and then after about half an hour, you open the gate and the dog comes bounding out. And he thought that was a cracking way to walk your dogs in the morning. And what it meant was that when mourners or the workers turned up later in the day, they were left a present every single morning by that dog by somebody's graveside.
That's not good, is it?
That was grim.
No.
So I think we'll move very quickly on.
I want to move on.
Move on from that topic and on to something that's actually winding Jenny up. What's going on?
Well, no, I just wanted to mention something else.
Okay.
First.
We're not winding Jenny up yet.
Not quite yet, but just going back to Queen again, I just wanted to mention that Freddie's parents did actually move to Nottingham in the latter parts of their life, just to get away from the hustle and the bustle of London. And they lived in Mapley. And the funny thing about this is that they used to go to the local Mapley Plain Social Club and watch Queen tribute bands. Now, can you believe that? That's after Freddie had passed away. So their son was Freddie Mercury, but they used to go to the local social club and watch Queen tribute bands.
I imagine this was definitely not the case. But could you imagine them getting horribly drunk and Rowdy at the back saying, "Oh, my son can do a better job than you can." Or he could have.
He can hit them notes.
He can hit those notes. You can't hit those
not
notes.
Not like Freddie.
No, not like Freddie. I don't know why I'm making him sound Northern. They're not Northern in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, and then slightly more on the taste and decency stuff. Something is winding Jenny up. What is it?
I'm going to say tarmac sharing.
Tarmac?
Yes.
What?
Pavements, roads, tarmac, roads, pavements. Just going to call it tarmac sharing.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay, so sharing space with other human beings.
Space, yes.
Okay, right. Okay, I get it now.
And my reason being is that the last kind of couple of weekends we've been in town, and I've noticed that you're trying to walk in. Yeah, it's a busy area. Lots of people are around shopping or meeting or whatever. But nobody seems to want to share space. You'll be walking and they'll either be what I call phone zombies. So they've constantly got the face in the mobile phone. They're not looking where they're going. And you're having to basically dodge them, dodge everybody else coming your way. Or they can blatantly see you and they're just not moving out of the way. So you're actually either going to the left or they're going to the right.
Jump up and down and have
I mean, I don't know if it's better when you're taller, people can actually see it, but being small, I don't know. It's like you have the small car syndrome where people seem to cut you up more if you've got a smaller car on the road.
Yeah. I know what you're
I'm getting really frustrated with the fact that people are so ignorant out there at the minute. You know, they just walk straight into you. You're always the one that's kind of dodging and trying to figure out which way they're going, left or right. And you got the Just Eat bikes and all the others like just zooming on a pedestrianised area only. So you're dodging bikes, you're dodging people. And I'm just like, what's going on with the world? People are just not willing to just share that little bit of tarmac.
Right. Well, I'm gonna put a theory out there. And I don't know how you're going to feel about this, theory, but have you considered that you're no longer with us in the living realm?
Yeah, I do feel like saying sometimes, am I invisible or what?
You might be a ghost and just don't realise it.
I am.
Like in The Sixth Sense, I know it's a spoiler that they're all dead, but how long ago was Sixth Sense now? Do you think it's a bit like in The Sixth Sense, you don't know that you're dead? So you just wander around doing life, not realising that other people can't see or interact with you.
Now, you know why you just reminded me of a conversation I had with the lady that does my nails. She's into all of this sort of stuff.
What?
Defo into all of this.
Ghosts?
But you know that time last year when I was driving home, and I don't drive very often, and it took me a lot of time to get my bottle back to drive, and I just started to get a little bit of confidence back driving from, to and from work.
We should explain why you lost your confidence. Somebody almost crashed into you. They didn't crash.
That's not why I lost my confidence. For some reason, my confidence just kind of disappeared. I didn't do much driving during COVID.
Fair enough.
And for some reason, it just kind of went, and I started to slowly get back into it, and I've been driving for a couple of months because I work literally is about 20 miles away. So Mark was dropping me off, picking me up, blah blah blah, and I thought I'll sort myself out. So I thought I'll get a nice little run around, and I was driving for 2 months thinking, I'm not too bad, I know my route, blah blah blah. Anyway, I was driving home one night. I now call it the car crash song, so that I'm not allowed to play that song in the car anymore because it just reminds me of when I thought somebody was going to rear end me. Anyway, so I always like to keep my safe distance, and I'm driving along, the speed limit, nice space between me and the car in front. Always check my rear view mirror. I could see this car just completely coming up really fast at the back, and I could see people's brake lights in the front, and I thought, we're all braking here. So you slow down progressively, and I looked and I thought, this guy's not going to stop. He's not going to stop, and I could see him coming really fast, and I thought, oh my God, brace it. It completely realises the last minute, completely swerves, goes up the embankment, and takes the taxi out in front of me. So you sit there, don't you? I thought, well, I've never been in a situation like this before. I thought, I don't know what to do. I don't know what do you do? And I sat there. I thought, well, I've got to get out of my car because I could see people now wanting to get around me. The car at the back of me had also stopped. And then there was the car that had caused the accident, and then the car in front that had been roped off, sort of. And I was like, so I thought, I'm going to get out of my car. It was getting a little bit of a dangerous situation. And I just kind of, I just didn't know I did kind of call you, didn't I?
Yeah,
I didn't know what to do.
You hadn't actually crashed, and the phone call goes, I've been in a car crash.
But it wasn't me. But going back to the lady that does my nails, I was chatting to her about it, and I sat there in my car thinking, how on earth am I still here? Completely missed me. My car not got a scratch on it. I was absolutely fine. Shook up, but fine. And she says, but how do you know you are here? How do you know you're not in another universe where this is you, not knowing that you're you could have died, and that. And I said, but you're here. I'm talking to you. I'm having my nails done. She goes, yeah, but I might have come into the same universe as you. The universe you was in when you was driving, maybe a different universe, and I was already in this new universe that now you're in. And I was like, oh, I'm getting confused now.
that is proper confusing.
Yeah.
And you telling that last bit of the story there reminded me of a TV show from, it must be a good number of years ago now, called Fringe. It involves all sorts of interdimensional, all sorts of weirdiness going on. I got through about half of the first series or two, and then it's just like, no, this is just breaking my head. It's too complicated, and that's how that fairy sounds. And if it's that level of complicated, I don't think it's true.
Am I here, though? Because if everybody can hear me now, maybe they're in the same universe as me.
Quite possibly. As I'm going to have to say, Jenny, you need a new manicurist. One of this universe. Although, how do you tell which universe they're from? Because they could be the evil twin from the other universe. You don't know.
She's well interesting. She does ghost walks and everything.
Ghost walks?
Yeah.
I know of a skill called ghost walking, which is a technique you use to make sure that you're not making any noise as you're sneaking through the undergrowth and things like that. I probably shouldn't admit I've heard of that technique, but there we go. One of these things. And Sandra's saying, I was putting flowers on my sister's grave last October and her headstone had disappeared. That's spooky. I phoned my niece, who does not live locally. Her stepbrother from his dad's first marriage had decided his dad's ashes were going in with my sister. As he was a serial womanizer and lived with another woman for at least 10 years after her death, I and my family were a bit surprised. I would be as well, if I'm honest with you. But I smile when I read the headstone now with them reunited in death on it.
I tell you, that's just reminded me of another story as well.
Oh,
so
go on.
when we go and visit Mum and Dad's grave, and we'll be going up for Mothering Sunday.
I've been informed we're going up
We're
for
going
Mothering
up,
Sunday.
yeah. There's a gravestone that's quite close to it, and it's got a lovely cat that's like leaning over the marble stone,
Yes, okay.
like it's pouring a bit of wool, and I'm thinking, oh, do you know what a lovely stone, but that's my focal point because it sticks out from the others, and I know then which direction to go where the grave is. But it was gone one day when we went. I was saying to Mark, where's that gravestone gone with the cat on? And you're like, well, I don't know if I've ever noticed it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm imagining gravestones. I'm sure there was a gravestone with a cat on. It was a gravestone with a cat on. And Mark's thinking I've lost the plot. Really? And I'm adamant. And then, so we found my mum and dad's grave, put the flowers on everything. And then we go back for Father's Day, don't we? We go back. And when we went back, the gravestone's back again with the cat on. So I says, Mark, I told you there's that gravestone with a cat on. But there was an explanation for that, because when we went round to look at it, obviously the partner had passed away, and then their inscription was on the other side of the stone, so it had obviously been took away to have the fresh engraving on it. But I was serious, thought I was cracking up, because I swear there was a gravestone with a cat on, and it had just gone, and Mom was like, are you sure? I'm like, there was.
You know, in the topsy-turvy world we live in, how it's cheaper to get a plane almost anywhere in Europe than it is to take the train 5 miles down the road. Well, it turns out there is a bit more money saving to be done there, because if you take one of those cheap 30 quid flights like this woman here that I'm reading about, Laura Poole did, right? She took a flight across the UK, from down south all the way to up north. Bristol to Dundee was where she needed to go. And rather than paying £30 for her clothes on a £25 ticket, she went, I can be a bit more clever. I can be a bit more savvy than that. So she put all her clothes in a sports bag, put them in an in-post box, and they got delivered to Dundee a few days later for £2.29. It sounds like a brilliant idea. The only problem with that plan is, what if you don't need your clothes in Dundee? Because I think it works for that one. I don't know where else it could possibly go. Can you send it to other places?
Maybe.
Is it different prices depending where you go? What'll happen, these companies will twig on to what you're doing, going, hang on a minute. You keep going to places that planes keep going with Ryanair and things like that. Yeah, no. We know what you're doing. and we'll just turn it up a bit. Make sure. But it's utterly bonkers, but also a cracking way to save money. What do you think of that?
I think that's good. Yeah, I like it.
You're going to take part in it, are you?
Yeah.
The only problem is I have had things disappear in both the post and in planes before. And I remember once, first time I ever went to the United States, it was with the Air Cadets, going to spend 2 weeks with Civil Air Patrol up in Maine. So I was going to be in a fantastic little exchange trip. Unfortunately, it went off to a bad start. Ended up spending 8 hours in Glasgow Airport because of a mechanical fault. So we were supposed to fly to Iceland, spend a day in Iceland, and then fly over to enjoy the day. And we were going to, spend some time in the sauna and the tubs and all that. And it didn't happen. I got to spend 8 hours in Glasgow Airport. There was a mad rush when the plane landed to catch the connection. We were literally spent less than 15 minutes in Iceland. Supposed to be there 8 hours, spent less than 15 minutes. So it just didn't work out. Got to the other side and got to the carousel. You know the carousel where you pick your luggage up?
Yes, where yours is always the last bag to appear.
Well, it was getting to the point where no other bags were appearing and the same 2 or 3 bags were going round and round and round. It's like, my bag's not coming, is it? So I go over to the desk. And being a cadet trip, you have staff along with you, volunteers and whatnot. And one of them turned to me and said, I'm glad it's you that lost your luggage. And I'm like, fantastic, brilliant. Do you hate me that much? And they go, no, I don't mean it like that. It's because we are one of the few people that wouldn't totally freak out about it. Yeah. So it's really fantastic. There we go. I'm going to put that on my CV. Doesn't freak out when Iceland Air loses his luggage and delivers it a few days later. I'm sure that's a life skill or something, isn't it? This next thing I'm going to tell you, I need Jenny to vouch for me that it genuinely happened, because when I tell you, you're going to think, Mark, you're making it up. It's complete and utter nonsense, right? I was in the supermarket the other day, and we're going around, and we're doing the scan as you shop and packing the bags as we're going along. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
You can vouch for it happening. And this gentleman comes over, stares at the trolley in awe, and goes, I wish I could be as organised as you are. Can you teach me how to do it? I'm like, hold on a minute. What's going on here? I can't be that good at packing bags.
You said he stopped you twice. I didn't see him the first time, just the last time.
That's genuine as well. He stopped me twice. Once when we were going around the shop, and the other time when we were on the way out the door going, no, seriously, you need to tell me how you did that, mate. So, off the back of that, I will be starting a brand new masterclass. We're getting it filmed. It's all going to be high quality. You can subscribe for like 30 quid a month to their service, and it'll be one of the masterclasses on the platform. And you can get to find out just how you can pack a bag as you're going around the supermarket in such a way that people will be looking at it going, wow, you've got to teach me how you do that. We really do end up in the strangest topics. My wife loves to scan and shop, but we put 3 bags in the trolley, yet somehow end up with 5 in the boot of the car. How does that happen? It is a mystery of the universe, I'm honest with you. And on a slightly more upbeat note, we have had a brain fart. Haven't we?
Yeah, I was kind of it randomly popped into my head earlier on today, and I said to Mark, what do you think if we could run this by our listeners this evening on a wee natter?
Like your good self here?
Yeah, and just see what people think. I want to call it reverse phoning, did we say?
Okay, yeah. So, what's going on with the reverse phoning?
So, kind of when somebody has a topic on a radio station and they have somebody expert in their field, and they go, if you need to know about blah, call in and our expert will give you the answer. Let's say, for example, for all your gardening woes, my tomatoes won't grow. What's wrong with? What am I doing wrong? And you get all this expert advice.
Okay,
now,
see where it's coming.
I'm going to go the opposite, because I could do with some gardening tips and techniques. So I'm going to put questions out there, and then I thought, so rather than me give the advice, people could come back to me with all the tips and hints and advice about stuff. And I thought, we could call out the reverse phoning or something.
But it's not just you asking questions. Anyone can ask a question.
Can ask questions.
Or give an answer.
Yes.
That could get very confusing very quickly, but it'd be a great bunch of fun as well. So We're playing with the idea. We're still at the whiteboards and the crayons and the weed section at the moment, but it's something that may appear in the future.
Blue sky thinking out the box, or not? I can't think of any other.
You've been to a business meeting recently, haven't you?
No, not really. But it's just the way you was talking just then. I'm thinking I've got to add a few more ad libs in myself here.
And on that note, we're unfortunately going to have to say goodbye. That is it for A Wee Natter this week. If you've missed any of the show, you can catch up on demand, available on Mixcloud and anywhere you get your podcast. Search for A Wee Natter.